about 2 years ago now. I had a code out heart attack. Heart attack happened in the middle of my sleep and coded out on the ambulance for about 10 seconds. But, life's fragile. We all have a purpose. We all have a clock that does run out at some point. So, going through something like that kind of invigorated really my entrepreneurship spirit more than anything of, hey, I want to leave behind a legacy, live presently and with a purpose.
Having a beer with Fred is really about getting to people's passion and what makes them tick. Having a beer and having honest, frank, clear conversation that inspires our audience is what it's about. Today is March 28th. And the reason I had to leave and get to basically Ferg's Sports Bar is its opening day, and we want to show some love to Mark Ferguson because this is the first day. It was an opening day for the Rays, and the team wasn't playing next door. So it's unfortunate that they're not playing next door at the Trop because of the hurricane destroying it. And Mark's a great guy with Fergs, and you and I, and so yeah, exactly. So, Ethan, why don't you give us your full name and spelling and where you're from?
Yeah, Ethan Crossan, born and raised in the great state of Maine, Cumberland, Maine, Ethan. Last name Crossan, Crosson. Grew up there my whole life before moving on down to Tampa.
And social security, giving a birth.
Yeah. So this show, Having a Beer with Fred, which you and I just shared a great beer at the Sea Dog Treasure Island, is about entrepreneurship, and it's about being in business and starting businesses. And I just wanted to say how impressed I am with you and with Grant. But we met recently because you grew up and went to Greeley High School with my daughter Jill Moses, and she invited me to meet you. I think it was a week before your wedding or 2 weeks before your wedding, and we had a great time just in a short conversation. I could tell you and I would become friends, and not only become friends, but have some fun doing some interesting things together. So, tell me a little bit about how you ended up in Florida and how'd you ended up being an entrepreneur and in business for yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. Found my way down to Tampa, Florida via University of Tampa after looking at a lot of different schools. Got some lacrosse and running scholarships in the Northeast and down in Florida. Great business school, great campus, great just overall atmosphere. Tampa was kind of coming on the scene back in 2008 a lot more. So wanted it to kind of be a permanent home to grow and carry in that kind of entrepreneurship spirit, and then graduated with a marketing degree. Pretty much from there forward, just started all things entrepreneurship, ran rental properties, Airbnbs on the side while working and building an employee benefits insurance career. Started at a startup, grew that from 6 employees to about 300 called GIS Benefits for about a decade. And now I'm over on the employee benefits broker side as a partner in an agency, and just, building it to new heights and helping out companies throughout the country.
Yeah. And in a very short period of time, I learned you're a networker. You love to connect people and relationships, and you've helped, get us involved in some locations. We're going to sell Ice Pick and Shipyard and Sea Dog, and kind of exciting. So, and actually introducing me to Grant, which is exciting, learning a little bit about his business, and together we may try to do some other things. Tell us a little bit about the boat ride and how you got over here to the Sea Dog today.
Yeah. So, Grant Craft, my guy on my right, is actually now a client of mine, owner of Craft Legal here in St. Pete. Tremendous law firm helping folks on, homeowners and flood insurance and litigation going against the big dog insurance companies. And so me and Grant reconnected after about a decade apart. My cousin of my college roommate at University of Tampa and good friend Jamie Craft, and met up earlier today at Grant's house over in Largo, and found ourselves on the way over to Sea Dog Brewery here in Treasure Island on his, I don't know what, Grant, a 25-foot speedboat going about 70, 80 miles an hour, miles per hour on the water. A little different than the Maine boating experience.
Yeah, well, we love Maine, but we also love Florida. That's a unique thing we share. And knowing how you grew up and a little bit of your background, I talk a lot about trust in relationships and knowing who you might partner with based on history and background. And, a lot of that is very, very critical in building a relationship. So the nice thing about, meeting you is I had a lot of just a short conversation with my daughter and got, the fact that you're a good person and, was a good guy in high school and didn't, wasn't too many dead bodies left behind. So yeah, that was a good thing. And then yeah, and that is the thing when we're talking about new ventures and whatnot, is trying to have people that are aligned with you and your same visions and ethics and things that relate to trying to build things. So what do you see in the future for yourself, entrepreneurially? Stay focused on what you're doing? Are you going to branch out, or what do you?
Yeah, it's a good question, Fred. And, everything starts from that relationship vantage point, right? Obviously, Maine's a little bit of a different ecosystem than Florida. Everybody's very open, love thy neighbor up in Maine, ourselves included, Fred. But, it always starts with the relationship aspect of things. And then I think business just has a fun way of becoming fun again and making sense from that point. Grant kind of stole my thunder there, but like I like to, learn my dance partner before I get out on the dance floor, right? So we can all grow and have fun together and make a lot of money and help companies and just really, lifting tide or, rising tides lift all of our boats at the end of the day. So for me, I'm going to keep on growing, scaling the employee benefits broker for a while. Always looking for new adventures and entrepreneurships, but I always like to operate in entrepreneurship of, giving before I ask. And so that's a big part of what I've always done. And if I can ever help anybody get to their destination a little bit quicker than I was able to, I'm here for it. But I see the business world going a lot of different formats. I'll probably cycle back into real estate, whether it's the commercial side or multifamily rentals and Airbnbs, things like that. Taking a little pause just because of interest rates and a little bit of market turbulence here. But I see there's no ceiling in entrepreneurship. So if there's good people at the table and there's a good opportunity, I want to explore it.
Right. I agree with that. I mean, I do feel like there's always opportunity in real estate. That's really my background, and I'm excited to talk more about that with you in the future. And I do feel excited to work with you and Grant on new ideas, and because I talk a little bit about the young energy that I'm in, that I get excited about that young energy, and you guys both have that. You've got that desire and interest level where a lot of my friends are about to retire. Honestly, I keep hearing it from friends of mine. Oh, I'm going to retire. I've just retired a year ago, and they're basically going to be on the golf course, or they're going to be doing whatever they're going to do. But for me, that's not my goal. Really, is to keep doing what I've been doing, but also get involved with young guys like yourselves and potentially add some value and see what I can do to give some advice to. You had an experience personally, like a near-death experience you shared. You mind sharing that with our audience a little bit about what happened to you?
Absolutely. It was actually about 2 years ago now. I had a code-out heart attack. Heart attack happened in the middle of my sleep in Valentine's Day 2023. Unexpectedly, lifelong athlete, Junior Olympics, lacrosse at University of Tampa. I've had a fun life, but nothing that would have, expected to be that end outcome. So coded out on the ambulance for about 10 seconds, but, life's fragile. We all have a purpose. We all have a clock that does run out at some point. So, going through something like that I reinvigorated really my entrepreneurship spirit more than anything of, hey, I want to leave behind a legacy like you've built yourself, Fred, like Grant has built himself. You don't know when your time-bound limitation is going to happen, but I think that helps within the entrepreneurship spirit, because you want to build as much and as everything that you can, because it all becomes a legacy and a brand or a name at the end of the day. And you just don't know when unexpected health things are going to happen. It can happen to me. It can happen to anyone, right? So, get preventative services, get your health checked out, because your health is your wealth at the end of the day. But, have fun while doing it, and, live presently and with a purpose.
Yeah, if I could add something there too, I mean, the idea of, birds of a feather flock together. You're only as good as the people you hang around. That's how we all kind of got here. And, us being a little bit on the younger side, Fred, I also want to just, to those guys that have accomplished so much more than us and have more experiences to share, like, don't ever just retire and forget about all those things that you've learned. Guys like Ethan and I are hungry, and there's so many other hungry people out there to learn from those experiences, because tuition can be really expensive learning on your own. And so, if you're done what what your day to day is and that grind, there's a lot of other people out there that you can mentor that are, we're at Sea Dog, so like call it chomping at the bit or something, to gain that valuable insight and accelerate growth, accelerate change, carry on the legacy, that you created through other people that want to,
I mean, in a strange way, and not to get, keeping America the land of opportunity, I think rings true to where we are right now. Maine, unfortunately, has not been as business friendly, and Florida is very business friendly. I think Maine is a great state. Where you do business really matters. And I love the fact that I meet more and more young people like yourselves that are excited about, and listen, there's a lot of young, aggressive people in Maine, but where you do it, how you do it. But it just seems easier sometimes down here. You touched on it a little bit, Ethan, and I'm hoping that Maine can get more aggressive in the future for business. And so for my grandkids and others will be able to get excited about being there. But we're living the dream. And I think today's opening day, we're here at Ferg's. Behind me is the Trop. It's unfortunate they're not playing here, but we're going to go in and give Ferg a little love. Mark Ferguson, who's the good man, and his son is helping run the place. But everything evolves. Everything changes. He didn't anticipate that the hurricane, it didn't hurt his business, but it definitely, this was devastating that, the Trop's not open for him here. So you got to be ready to adjust in business, and he's doing a bunch of other things to grow his business here. So I'm going to go in and give him a little support, and you guys keep enjoying the Sea Dog Treasure Island down there, and we'll catch up in the near future.
Cheers. Versus opportunity. Let's go.
Cheers.